All right, y'all. Today we're looking at this boudoir photography business, and for its local searches, city searches, we're going to see if it has BSS. We're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that in the pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC in white here. Highest intent people on the left, it's people using social search, Google search, searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we focus on them with the videos we make here about BSS, closest to the money, highest conversion rate. And way over on the right is the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And most of them don't even know what the heck boudoir is. But we reach them through interruption ads, through Facebook, Instagram, talk about these things over on our talk about BLCS over on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, it's boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this occurs, 0 slots, trash, our business will be dying pretty fast. 0 slots page 1 means we're only on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So from page 2, 80% of approximately 80% of searches are page 1 and done searches. That means if we're on page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market, bulk of the buyers. Once on Google, no bueno either, because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So if it's us, 10 boudoir photographers total, we're one of them. 9 other peeps got 1 link on Google, and guess what? Guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of boudoir buyers are doing? They're just clicking every link down page 1, open everyone's website, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, price shop and price compare, and driving margins to 0, negotiating, all that stuff. Never even hitting page 2. So, we're kind of constrained there with the number of competitors we'll actually be compared against. And 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So yes, it's common. Yes, it's accepted. But to have such few slots page 1 on Google, not normal. It means something's seriously broken. Those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation. Yeah, basically everyone knows this. This is when more and more boudoir photographers enter the marketplace over time. And yeah, it's because peeps get new gear, new iPhone, new camera over time. They throw up their Google My Business profile, and when they do that, they're also throwing up a website saying they offer boudoir, competing to now rank on page 1 Google search. They're posting mom groups saying they now offer boudoir, and on and on. So more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller, aka every boudoir photographer. Now, this happened a big way during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but everyone had to still, earn money. So people actually still, thrust in the market to become a boudoir photographer. Now, number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a big one. This one, boudoir photographers kind of automatically believe that, each and every boudoir photographer gets at least 0, 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're slot 9 on page 1. Then some market saturation happened, then there's slot 1 on page 2. Like, some other peeps entered the market, their website's ranked above me. That's fine. But let's, hopefully they delete their websites and Google stops indexing them so then I can come back onto page 1. But no, this, passive, hopefully it happens for me. No, 100% incorrect. I know for a fact that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed. Finally, a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're invisible to approximately 20% of peeps who view page 2 and deeper. Yep, we're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're basically invisible, same as everyone else. Being compared against everyone else, margins collapsing, and going to happen more and more as AI takes more people's jobs. So disappearing boudoir photographer is like the warning light, like the warning symbol of, if we are disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, that means our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we discovered the solution. We discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when people search them. And the way this works, this is kind of like, it's basically like down on the Andes Mountains in South America. Think about the backside, the eastern side. When it snows up there, eventually the snow melts and melts into small streams, small rivers. Eventually all that snow melts, runs off the mountains, flows into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 of Google search. That is the Amazon River. And so what's amazing about this is it all starts with the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains. And so the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains is S-cubed methodology. That's how we get the snow there. Everything flows downstream from that. And the one thing I like about S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully, actually have a chance to fight out back against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Still have a chance to actually grow the business, even as more boudoir photographers enter the market. The only other thing I've seen that actually enables that is having a large, well-known brand. But those take 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is taking people's jobs. We need to start dominating now. So S-Cube's methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to do that. And by my estimates, I believe it actually enables a boudoir photographer to become a large, well-known brand in their area, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're basically showing up on so many different surfaces, so much more frequency, become well-known so much faster. So that's where my approximately 8x estimation comes in. All right, now an example. Let's say, so we're going to say we are in Sacramento, California, and there's 1 million boudoir photographers there total. We're one of them. Everyone's got their websites saying they shoot boudoir, and everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. It's like, man, this place is insanely competitive. We don't have time to build a brand. We gotta, basically we gotta start getting results ASAP, as fast as possible here, AFAP. And so we're like, all right, S-cube methodology is the only thing that can help out here. We gotta crank this thing up to the max. So let's say we're able to rank for the first 300 slots, social search for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. And let's say that flows over onto Google, or we take the first 300 organic slots, and it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages. And so people don't have to scroll like slot 301 to find any of our competitors, or basically go to page 31 on Google. And so in this scenario, where we're the first 300 slots, basically anywhere searches online, whose boudoir photography business will be growing in this situation? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business will be shrinking / disappearing? Most likely all of our 999,999 competitors, because buyers can't even find them. We're taking up all these slots. So this is an example kind of this is the ultra most extreme case of what could happen utilizing S-cube methodology, but it's good to understand it. Now, one street with S-cube methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page 1 on Google. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this next initial benefit, which is every new slot we get page 1 on Google, actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and guess what? We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually like that. We can control how many of our competitors are invisible. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we got the GBC Universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google. That's the number that's recommended because if everyone's got 1 slot All right, we're dominating them because we got 3. Maybe they're ultra rare case, somebody else has 2 slots. Yeah, well, our 3 slots still dominate them. So GBC recommend minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. It's fine, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing S-cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank and dominate Google page 1 for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I used S-cubed methodology. Let's see my results. So let's see, organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. Now, I'm from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, onto the main event here. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business, see if it's got BSS for its local or its city search, see if it's in the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. So let's get into this. We're going to Germantown, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee. All right, see what we got here. We're in Germantown, Tennessee. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, we got 1. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 for local search. Let's go to city. City is always harder to rank for. There's more people competing. Oh, nice. We got organic slot 1. That's great. We got 1 out of 10. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 here. So we got 1 out of 10 for local. We got 1 out of 10 for Memphis. So yeah, we got BSS for both, and we are hitting the GBC Universe recommended minimum. A 3 out of 10. Neither of those searches. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done the local search for yourself for the highest intent buyer keywords, and the highest intent, and you've done the city search for yourself for the highest intent buyer keywords, and you have BSS for one or both of them, and or you have not met the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots for one or both of them, and you understand the market saturation. Yeah, people get new gear. Okay, more boudoir photographers always over time. It's always increasing. And you want to kick out those current competitors. And you've seen S-cubed methodology as the only path to successfully do that. But you're also thinking ahead of, man, AI is taking more and more people's jobs, it seems, every day. So if AI is taking more and more people's jobs every day, then there's probably going to be more and more. It's going to be like the third prong of things that's pushing more boudoir photographers. And it's not just new iPhone or new camera. It's now losing jobs due to AI. So you see, okay, more and more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market. We actually want to increase the kind of pre-fortify our position before this monster tsunami or kind of this increasing wave of new boudoir photographers enters the market, competing with us for page 1. Want to pre-fortify our positions and expectations. That kind of like the levees in New Orleans. I think it's like the built-up sandbag things to keep the ocean at bay because the city is below sea level. And we actually want to decide you want to pre-fortify your position, to also pre-fortify your position on Google page 1 to all the new boudoir photographers that will eventually be coming in because more and more people lose their job to AI. And you're also seeing, hey, S-cubed methodology is the only path for that. You've accepted that page 1 equality is a false belief, and Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 as we want to put in the effort to take. So you've accepted the false belief of page 1 inequality is false. So you want to use S-cubed methodology, you see as the only solution, and you want the page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you need this on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also want the 2 hidden back-end benefits of successfully executing S-cubed methodology every single day, which is kind of the more we execute it, the keywords that we use that we're starting to rank for, show up social search for, saturate that, show up Google page 1 for. It's basically building thematic keyword columns attached to our entire internet brand, our social accounts, our website, out there in the minds of AI. So every single day we successfully execute methodology, we actually increase the probability that AI overview here recommends us. And Google still is about 90% of search, slowly decreasing every day though. So higher chance we get the one, the premium placement slot here, AI overview, because it's pulling from, our frequency, our density, our authority, our age of these different thematic keyword columns that SCube allows us to tackle. So increase in probability of being shown up here and increase in probability of being showing up for all the AI search apps, ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, and we got Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. So kind of all this hidden back-end AI brain momentum every single day. It's kind of building up momentum. Every single day we execute methodology. And you're seeing, since my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, that you decide you want to hop on this first, be a first mover, because every single day we execute methodology correctly. We're getting the initial benefits, the quick future benefits, and the longer term momentum AI brain recommendation benefits, building up the momentum, and you're putting massive, massive, massive gap between you and all the current competitors, and definitely all the ones that have not entered yet, but we know they will because AI will be taking a bunch of people's jobs. And so you want all that, and you also see if some other boudoir photographer in your same city were to work with me instead, that you would actually have to rederive, figure out S-cubed methodology on your own, and you would never actually know if you've rederived it correctly. And then you'd have to go equal our execution every single day, execute an S-cubed methodology, which you'd have to equal our effort and you'd have to be confident in it, which you would not have 100% confidence because you would not know if you've even derived S-cubed methodology correctly in the first place. And to do all that effort, you would simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor have already built up against you. To actually close the gap, you'd have to double or triple outwork us every single day to close that gap. Basically kind of steal back that thematic keyword column momentum attached to your competitor's brand in the AI brain, the AI search brain for all these AI apps, and pull it back to your brand. And so you decide, okay, screw that. I'd rather just be the first mover and not be dealing with the laggard position of not being, the number one boudoir photographer in my city, because I know a ton of boudoir photographers going to be entering because of AI taking Peep's job. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. When I open my DMs for new patient intake, the hospital is currently closed. We're not currently taking in any new patients. But when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.